Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president.
On this computer. Oh shit, let's go.
Was this
Oh,
episode 11?
it's episode 11. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Or if this is your first time, welcome to a hill to die on. Look, we're on the brink of World War III, and look, not to be on a high horse or anything, but I definitely think that this podcast could save the world. So, with that
I
said,
agree.
let's see what we can do in an hour to hopefully save the world. John is eating as usual. I'm gonna say this. We did an episode, I think this is episode 8 or 9, and we did it on Riverside, a different format than Zoom. And then the following episode we went back to Zoom and we didn't address it at all. There was no address of like, hey, because if you're listening to the podcast and you heard the Riverside episode, then you obviously know that like the audio was a lot more crisp and clean.
I want to know the one person who was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, yo, what the fuck is this? This is terrible. But no, I just wanted to address that real quick. We were trying different formats, trying to see what could be better for the podcast, and we decided on Riverside, but we're gonna do it in like 2 weeks or probably 3 weeks, and we'll do it then because we're all poor and we're trying to figure out money.
I like that the decision-making process isn't so much, how to do it,
Quality,
or what to use, but just what's cheapest. How early can we implement it?
Quite literally.
So should I cancel my premium Zoom account?
I mean, do you have
Yeah,
any other
eventually-
reason for having it aside from the podcast?
I mean, unless we don't like Riverside, I've already got the premium Zoom.
Yeah, that's the only reason why we can record for like an hour plus. Because shout out to Brett.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
$11.99 a month.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, no, still.
You're
I wanted
taking
to
away
say
from
this.
a half a pizza from me.
Where are you buying pizzas from?
I mean, every place is like $24 for a large pizza.
No, like
Yeah,
like
if you're
pi-
adding delivery to that.
no,
don't
like
get it
Little
delivered.
Caesars. Little Caesars probably keeps it under like 12.
No, Little Caesars is
$13.
like $11. Yeah.
No,
Also-
even like a fancy pizza in London, I can get for like 14 pounds.
How much is that in the US?
It's probably like $16, $17. I want to say.
So if I ordered from Papa John's and I added delivery plus a tip, I'm paying like $30.
Great.
Yeah, I guess. But also, why are you having pizza delivered? But there's so many other options. I don't understand.
Listen, I haven't actually had pizza delivered in like months.
Yeah,
I'm just referencing.
I'll be honest with you, and this is like no bullshit. I have never had pizza delivered to my home
Really?
ever.
Really, it's like the most classic delivery. I feel like pizza was getting delivered before.
Yeah,
before delivery.
absolutely.
What
I
have you
never-
had delivered?
We were too poor to have pizza delivered.
Do you have
Honestly.
anything? You've never used DoorDash? You've never delivered?
No, I mean, of
anything?
course I have. That once those apps started becoming more prevalent, of course. But
And
Did you
now
get
look at
pizza
you,
then?
man. Now look at you. Got enough money to be upgrading to Riverside Pro.
well, we have to split it 3 ways. But regardless, yeah, you know what it
Are
is.
we
No big deal.
are we doing that mental health pod today, or what? Are we skipping?
Yeah,
that shit?
we'll definitely talk about it. It's going to be a good mental health podcast, and also coupled with World War III happening, and what else?
I definitely have something to say about that because I've seen a lot of shit that's bothered me about that.
We'll definitely talk about it. So, John, you were gonna. I don't know if you wanted to say something, but you got your.
Well, I just got back from Brussels in Belgium today.
nice.
Ooh, never been.
Got back about an hour ago. Had a great weekend. It's a lot of fun, and I have decided that I am the new ruler of Belgium. That's kind of what that's just what my takeaway from this trip was. I was just walking around and it just kind of felt like these people needed like a clear direction and a clear ruler.
are the buildings like not tall enough? What exactly?
Yeah, I think it was something about, a lot of the architecture is old. It's beautiful. It's a great
Yeah.
city, but everyone's just kind of out drinking and eating waffles and eating fries. And that's a cool vibe, but like I feel like they need that American spark to really, really kind of drive.
I don't know, man. They
towards
sound like a
something greater.
That sounds like a class like 10 civilization to me.
So,
They're
so
just-
my
they-
question then, if you spent the weekend in Brussels, you would know whether or not is this true? Because I don't know this. I don't know the answer to this. Is the waffle actually a Belgian delicacy?
Yo,
Delicacy.
Yo,
Delicacy.
I had two of the best waffles I've had in my entire life.
So yes.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, how are you perfecting waffle? Are you just using a fucking waffle maker? Come on, bro.
I need both of you guys to look up a Liege
Cap.
waffle.
Elite,
Liege waffle.
spell it.
Liege, I believe.
That sounds like a fucking like a lesion.
Or
like
it might be Liège. I might be spelling it slightly wrong, but just look it up. Just type in something
Alright,
akin to
Liege
that
waffles,
and
yeah.
waffle. And it is this like crazy thick circular.
That looks like
it's
a
not
waffle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a waffle.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But
You
listen,
can't really change
there's
the-
like there's the classic, you know, American, or it's probably Belgian originally, but waffle that's rectangular and just kind of too perfect. And the Liege waffle is there's something like fucking rustic about
Okay,
it.
what I'll say is it's got to do with the batter, of course. So like if the
Yeah.
it depends on what the but like as far as waffles go, like I feel like they're all the same.
Comey, when you
Like-
come out and visit me in London, we'll take the Eurostar to Brussels. It's literally an hour and a half. It's shorter than some people's commute.
Yeah.
And we can go just get a waffle, spend a day in Brussels, and then go back to London.
What
But
train? What
I
train do you take
I
for that?
cannot overemphasize how good these waffles are.
What train do you take for? Is it just the regular, like the
You take the Eurostar. It's the same as what you would take to go to
to get
Paris.
to Paris? Yeah.
But it's actually
Yeah.
shorter than Paris. I think Paris is 2 hours. Brussels is an hour and a half. I don't know why. It's something about maybe
It's
being
probably just as close, just a little bit further to the west.
yeah. I think Brussels is more east, but
East. Yeah,
it's
that was-
it's closer north than Paris is.
Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking idiot
Yeah.
when it comes to geography.
No, it's
God
okay.
damn
It's
it.
okay. This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but like I know everything about Brussels now, and I am ready to step into the
Okay,
leadership role.
motherfucker. This dude was there for a weekend. This man said I know everything about Brussels. This man
Oh,
said,
I mean, I was barely there for the full weekend, and I think most of the activities revolved around sitting in a park, drinking beer,
Yeah,
eating waffles.
sounds like a class 10 civilization to me.
There was a moment on Saturday, where I ate a waffle, and it was the best waffle I've ever had. And then I just had this wave of like genuinely feeling like I would do anything to eat a vegetable. I was sitting there feeling aggression
Fucking
towards the
vegan.
people around me. What's that?
I said fucking vegan over here.
No, well, no, it's not so much that. It's I don't know if you guys have experienced this. Like if you travel, like you're eating out a lot, you're kind of not paying attention to what you're eating. Maybe you'll even skip lunch and just have a little snack like a waffle. And just next thing you know, like 3 days, 4 days have
Fucking
passed and you
guy.
haven't had a vegetable. And that's kind of what was happening to me. Never mind.
I'm used to going 3 or 4 days without vegetables. That's not just on vacation.
It's just a normal everyday occurrence for him. I was gonna say,
Do you not get vegetable cravings then?
You know what I do get? I do crave broccoli and cabbage every once in a while.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's
don't
like
like-
I'm talking like every 6 months.
I'm like a 4-year-old. I don't really fuck with like I like steamed broccoli. But I can't eat broccoli just like raw. Like, nah.
Raw broccoli,
with
except in
ranch?
like a salad with some dressing. I feel
Nah,
like
I don't
it's kinda
like
raw.
ranch
I
either,
love
bro.
that.
I don't like ranch.
I love broccoli anyway, dude. And I never liked cabbage till I got with Corianne. Now I'm with Corianne. The way she makes cabbage is like insane.
There's no way to make cabbage, my G.
Yeah,
You
there
just-
is, man. Have you heard of kimchi? Come on.
Yeah. Also, there's several ways to make cabbage. She puts in the instant pot. She broils it. There's several things. She bakes it.
Yeah, there's a ton of different Irish recipes.
That all sounds like applying heat to cabbage.
When she roasts
me-
it, though, roasted cabbage is so good.
Roasted cabbage is unreal. There's all these Eastern European cabbage dishes. I think borscht, like Russian.
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
borscht actually. Funny
yeah,
enough.
borscht hits.
All right, fuck you guys. All right. I just wanted to get some yes anding going there, but apparently no,
No,
it's
no.
not. No, it's not.
No,
this is
no.
a-
Even with me, and you're somebody you've eaten with me how many times? What I get meatball subs and like freaking macaroni and cheese, and the fact that I'm saying cabbage is good, I think you should give it another try.
All right. I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. O.J. Simpson,
Rip, R.I.P.
R.I.P. loved by millions. Okay, so John, you cannot make that face
He
because
he got diddled.
John, you can't make that face because one, he was acquitted, so I need you to relax, okay, by the U.S. Judicial system and a jury of his peers. So you got to chill
As
out.
we have discussed in previous episodes, the bar in discourse is different than the legal requirement.
Right.
Yeah.
So
also,
the-
what I will say is the only reason he was really acquitted, except for the fact that the jury was in denial, the reason he was acquitted was because the prosecution fucked up. The police tampered with evidence. There was a lot of bullshit going on, and they genuinely could not prove that he was guilty. But he lost the civil case.
So if you cannot prove that someone is guilty,
In a criminal case,
In a
Correct.
criminal case.
so then what happens? The person is acquitted then, correct?
he's
Yeah, but
acquitted
that
criminally.
doesn't mean they're absolved of guilt.
Regardless,
It's the same thing with Bill Cosby. They couldn't prove he was guilty because the prosecution fucked up and they submitted evidence they weren't allowed to submit, and then he ended up getting acquitted even after he was in prison. It doesn't mean he didn't rape 100 people.
I mean, it could have been 101. I don't know. I mean, okay, gonna have to cut that out. Anyways, look, all I'm saying is, the U.S. judicial system, it is obviously flawed, no questions asked whatsoever.
In what ways?
Not
He can't
acquitting.
answer.
Yeah, no, wait. I am. I just gotta skirt around this a little bit. Not acquitting O.J. Simpson. So double negative there. So it's not flawed in that way, is what I'm trying to say.
It's not flawed in not acquitting O.J. Simpson.
Correct.
So he should have been
It's-
acquitted.
so it's not flawed in acquitting him, is what you're saying.
No, it's not flawed. Not flawed. Shut up. Fuck you. Look, I think that the discourse around the whole it was like a TV trial at the end of the day, right? It was somebody who America loved at the time, and
We also shouldn't skirt around the fact that he was not just somebody America loved, but he was like the #1 star on the planet. That
I don't know about
he,
I don't know about
dude,
planet.
he was huge. He was the
I
number
think
one.
I think he was big in
was-
America, but I don't think
Well, sure.
anybody
Well,
else was-
that's what I mean. Excuse me. Number one
Okay.
star in the U.S.
this
because he
motherfucker said
wasn't-
planet.
No, he wasn't just. Well, I mean, if you're the #1 star in the U.S., it kind of translates. But if you're
It's just
you're
interesting. Didn't we
I like this
have a
guy.
discussion? Didn't we have a discussion about like you can't say that you're the
sports.
champions of the world?
Yeah. You know what though?
Yeah.
Brett's right. Technically, if
he was
you're #1 in
hugely
the
famous,
US,
not just for football, but he was also in every popular thing on movies and TV. He was in Roots, which was the #1 TV show of the 70s and early 80s, and then he was also in Lethal Weapon,
no.
which is the #1 series of movies, comedy movies in the 80s. Like he was a huge star. He wasn't just like, oh, the football player I like murdered somebody. He was a
Well,
huge star.
Allegedly, you gotta chill. Chill with that, Brett. What are you doing?
He even
Allegedly.
wrote a book called "If I Did It."
Yeah,
Like,
he's
come
he's insinuating that he obviously didn't do it, but if he had done it, how he would have done
What
it.
do you think it was like for the person who had to design the cover for that book? Like, how tempted do you think they were to like put an X through if?
Well, also the if was also so small.
So small, yeah.
Just so people, honestly, the designer for that book was probably kind of a genius, because like, can you imagine how many people picked that book up when they saw O.J. Simpson, I Did It, and then took them like a few minutes to see the if.
Wait, is this a real thing? Whoever
Yeah,
the
no,
designer
it's a
was
real
actually
book.
made the if
No,
small?
he wrote it.
No,
yeah,
I know the
there's a-
book's real.
No,
I've never
If
seen the
was
cover
tiny.
for it.
No,
Google it,
I
I was
Google
didn't
just
even
saying that
know-
as I just was saying that because I thought it was kind of funny that
No, the if is really small.
holy
It's-
shit, that's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just Google this shit.
That's just marketing a murder at that point.
pretty much.
no, but he
like,
was
kinda
acquitted,
genius for a
though,
marketer.
So look, R.I.P. to the juice. The juice is loose.
So, John, when you look up "If I Did It," it says "I did it," and then the "if" is a tiny little "if" that's within the "I."
Yeah, I'm looking this up right now. I can cut
Okay,
the
let me
dead air.
since he's doing that, Brett, if you were going to commit a murder, how would you murder Corianne if you were going to do it? This
Considering she's
obvious,
under.
it's hypothetical, obviously.
Oh my God, this book cover is insane.
Yeah. I don't, Comey, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable answering that question.
Obviously, you're not going to do it, and you would probably be acquitted if you did. So,
Big, what would be the best way I can murder you?
okay, you can't ask her that.
What would be the best way I could murder you? We're talking about O.J. Simpson.
Make sure to
Get
say
away
that.
with it.
Make sure to say that he did not get away with anything. He was acquitted. Again, I got to emphasize this.
Hang on a second.
Him being acquitted means he got away with it.
Hang on. Hang on. I
No,
can't.
no, it
hang
does
on.
not mean he got away
Hang
with
on.
it.
Hang on. I can't hear. What's
It's-
that?
John, that does not inherently mean he got away with it. It just means that he was innocent
Oh,
until
poison.
found guilty.
Corian says poison.
You know what? That's not a terrible way. What you I think it's cherry pits. You can open up cherry pits, and if I think there's enough cyanide in there, you need to open up a lot of cherry pits. But there you go. If you
Or I
want
could
to,
just watch that episode of Breaking Bad where they make like the poison resin.
do they
I
actually
could
show you how to
just-
make poison resin?
Pretty much.
I like
Also
the
show you how
idea.
to make meth.
I like the idea of somebody just being like a straight shooter. They never done a drug in their life. Or, they're pretty honest person, and that show comes out and they resonate with that show so much that they just like either start doing meth or start like trying to be a meth like dealer. I think that's a
I love that when that show came out, they actually started making blue meth in the actual like black market. Like they had real marketers who were like, we would sell more if we catered to the Breaking Bad fans.
They probably did, to be honest.
They did. It was a real thing. They made real blue meth.
real blue motherfucking meth. All right, fuck it. I guess the OJ topic's dead. But seriously, just a count of hands. Who thinks that he actually did it?
No, he did it. He absolutely did
He
it.
absolutely did it.
I'm on the fence.
All right, like every other black American.
What do you mean?
Brett,
If you see,
Brett,
no,
you
he's
can't
not,
Did you
stoop
see-
to that level because now Comey's in the right.
No, and now I'm
Listen,
being a racist asshole. And you
have
know
you-
what? Just
have
like
you
that
seen-
Family Guy, that Family Guy episode where they're talking about the OJ trial and it's Brian and his black roommate. And then they say, we find the defendant not guilty. And Brian goes, yes. And his roommate goes, no. And they both point guns at each other.
nah.
I'm just
I
kidding.
no. I mean, it's not. I mean, no.
He's a
because
football player. That's all I'm saying. He's an athlete.
that's all I'm saying. Have you seen TV coverage of like when people were like waiting to see if he was acquitted or not, and you can see like
No.
the racial divide in the U.S. where like all the white people like, ah! Have you seen that clip of that one woman who when Trump got elected the first time, she's like, it's pretty much that exact thing.
Oh, I've
but
seen
just-
it. She screams into the air.
yeah, just like all white people, and then all black people were like, "Yes, our boy," but also, what has OJ done for you to like kind of care? So it just became a whole like racial thing in the U.S.
How-
It's
I
So
super
do.
what-
I do
interesting.
think
know-
there is a discussion to be had about obviously I think he did it, but the cases like that get highlighted.
John, you can't say that. The man was acquitted.
Yeah,
Comey,
yeah,
Comey, I do have a question for you though. Oh, sorry, John. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah. I mean, you keep your question in mind. I think I'm just saying there is something to be said for cases like Cosby, like OJ, where it's clear they did it, get highlighted more than other cases where white people essentially also did it. You know what I mean?
John,
Right.
do you think that if I'm not gonna do Cosby because that's too fresh. Do you think that if OJ Simpson had actually done it, that he would have not gotten acquitted? I think that since he did get acquitted, it's safe to say that the jury found
But-
him.
But
Not-
Comey, the reason he got acquitted was because the prosecution could not prove he did it because of everywhere they fucked up. It's not that he didn't do it. It's that they tampered with evidence and they placed evidence. But the evidence that really was damning against him was actually there.
That sounds
Yeah.
like
Also, you're kind of begging the question. Like you're kind of starting with an assumption of that the conclusion of him being acquitted proves the truth.
Wait, that's I could reverse that and say that you're saying that because he got acquitted, then he is inherently guilty, which does not always have
But
to be
no,
the
I'm
case.
not saying because he got acquitted, he's inherently guilty. I'm saying he's guilty because of the,
And you know what? I
shocking
agree with John.
preponderance of evidence.
Yeah, I
that
agree with John. He was guilty, but I
You
also
can be
think,
guilty and get acquitted.
and I also think that he should have actually been acquitted from the criminal trial. Because if you go by our American law system, same thing with Bill Cosby, everything like that, you can be as guilty as can be. But the fact that the prosecution, the police, and everybody messed with the evidence and messed with how our law system should work, well, then yeah, he should have been acquitted.
So you're saying
Yeah,
that
I
he
mean,
was-
I don't know enough about the individual case to talk on that, but if that is the case, then yeah, I agree with Brett.
Yeah, there were
But-
lies.
but,
from the,
that
there were
doesn't mean I
lies
don't
coming-
think he did it. Like,
Yeah,
I can
there
think,
was
yeah.
police planted evidence. Police tampered with
Oh.
evidence.
that's new. I didn't know
Not
police
new.
did. I didn't know
It's
police
been known
did
since
that.
1994.
No, I mean like police planting evidence. I said that's new.
That's not
Right.
new.
I know it's not, Brett. I'm being fucking facetious.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of bullshit coming from the prosecution that should have actually acquitted him, but he lost a civil case, and then that whole thing happened where that dude in Vegas or whatever stole his hat, and he went and
Merchandise,
waved a gun. I'm not gonna try. He's dead. It's not like I'm gonna get sued, but I think he went and, like, waved a gun in the guy's
You
face.
think
who
you
stole-
think OJ's estate is watching this podcast and be like, hey.
But he went and, like, waved a gun in the dude's face who stole his hat. He got arrested for that. He ended up getting the book thrown at him from the judge. And went to jail.
Trumped up charges.
Jesus, Comey.
All right, fine. You guys have convinced me. I think OJ is guilty. Wow. Okay, whatever. Okay, just big deal.
Also,
Anyway,
who else would have done that shit? Would somebody else just have killed Nicole Brown? Just like,
who knows? The person got away.
and then she also had several proven cases of domestic abuse against him where he, like, legit beat her up for years before that, where he actually admitted guilt.
so
It's
much
a
editing
dead
for
woman,
me.
dude.
So he's dead too. We're saying that he was guilty. Jesus, dude.
People have been saying he was guilty since 1995.
I know. Okay. Well, we're off that topic. Fuck it.
I also love the fact that the other dude who was killed with her. I don't love this. I didn't
yeah,
mean
he
to say
just
that.
doesn't get any like media coverage. Nobody
Well,
really
the
gives
dude,
a
I
fuck
can't
about
remember
him.
his name, but the waiter, what's his name? The waiter who got killed with her,
Yeah.
was friends with her for like 5 weeks and just went over to her apartment just to return her glasses or something. And he was also killed.
Bro.
It's like a horrible murder that was so clearly pointing towards OJ Simpson, but because the police had to plant evidence to make themselves look more in the right. I mean, everything kind of went haywire for them. I mean, it was obviously, it's not like I'm adding anything to this case. Everyone knows about all this, but
Yeah.
anyway, OJ Simpson died. R.I.P.
I don't know about RIP.
R.I.H.
Wow. You can't wish somebody hell. That's crazy.
I don't mean hell. Rest in heaven. What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's on you.
What?
Assuming.
Rest in heaven. It's crazy.
That's
Oh,
insane.
shit. All right, fuck it.
Did you see somebody posted, because Beetlejuice, the Beetlejuice 2, the trailer came out last week
I thought you meant Beetlejuice from fucking what's his name show?
from Howard Stern?
Howard Stern show.
No. Beetlejuice, the actual movie with Michael Keaton, the
I
sequel.
saw.
The trailer came out last week, and at the end, Beetlejuice finally shows up, and he just says, "The juice is loose." And somebody
Oh,
made a
shit.
meme that said,
Actually?
yeah, no, Beetlejuice 2, the trailer came out, yeah.
No, but I mean
And-
the juice is loose comment.
Yeah, no, that came out like literally 3 days before OJ died.
Oh.
Like, the timing was insane. But somebody made a meme that said OJ seeing Nicole Brown the first day that he did, right after he died, and it's just that trailer. The juice is loose, and he's looking at what's her name? He's looking at shit from Stranger Things, Beetlejuice, and Heather's. Damn it,
I don't know.
Winona Ryder.
Oh, we said
Winona
we said-
Ryder. Yeah,
we said we wanted to do movie reviews. One thing that I forgot.
no,
John
we
has
can't
a
do
whole-
movie reviews
Why the hell not?
because that's a conflict of interest. I can't be merging IP like that.
Comey's still mad.
Fuck, man. All right, get this guy the fuck off this podcast. This is ridiculous.
I do want to
Yeah.
apologize to you guys for last week. The viewers don't know, but I had a particularly tough few days last week. I was
How
having
would-
a
How would they know? How would they know?
no,
It was-
they wouldn't. They wouldn't. But
The
they do know that I
the
had
viewers are tracking Brett's movements.
they do know that I had a they do know that I had a sinus infection.
That's right.
And they prescribed me a steroid and a Z-Pack for the Z-Pack, like an antibiotic for
Zinpack.
this, yeah, for the sinus infection. And I'm still getting over it a little bit. It's pretty much just a drip now. But essentially, the exhaustion and some stress I've been having mixed with the steroid put me in a little bit of delirium. And I ended up texting you guys about something that was not a big deal. We can talk about it on the pod if we want about what happened.
Nah, I mean, I don't personally, I don't really feel the need to.
Sure. Yeah. And I ended up just texting them like just delirious texts right after this happened. Just like, oh, I feel so terrible. I'm an awful person. Meanwhile, like it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was just kind of like one little thing that happened.
Yeah, it was mainly about Brett being. I'm not gonna get in too far into it, but it was mainly about Brett being kind of a younger kid and him going into a priest's office.
What?
It was a whole thing. So,
What?
Bad
Oh,
joke.
Tommy, I want to yes and you, but it just
That didn't make sense.
It just doesn't make sense.
Are you
Fucking
delirious too? That's not
Yeah,
at all
but
what happened. It just
I-
had to do with it had to do
obviously,
with how I
no
how I
shit.
reacted to
Yeah.
a reaction that
Okay.
happened at a party.
How you handle the social situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't. I think the most interesting thing about it that came up.
I like how
was,
it's like, you
uh,
know what, we shouldn't talk about it. All right, let me.
We're not
bring-
going to talk
Kobe-
about the actual situation, but
All right, Kobe brought up something else that had nothing that had nothing pertaining to it.
Yeah,
It was
but what
just a
you
joke.
brought up is worse.
yeah,
You brought up pedophilia.
100 times.
Man,
it's
I can't.
just-
I
it's-
can't. Let me turn off my fucking video, bro. This is ridiculous.
What? Oh, because you're lagging.
No, just because you guys are fucking shitting on me too much.
Oh, he's just sad.
Oh, he's in his sad
sad boy.
hours.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
back. All right.
I think the most interesting thing that came of this conversation was the collective realization that all of us are just in dark places,
Yeah.
which I guess kind of makes sense. Like you kind of have to be in order to start a podcast, right?
Yeah, it's bottom of the barrel type shit, dude. Like, think about this. This is about like the highlight of my like week. Every week, I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to do a podcast. How fucking sad is that?
It's not sad. I appreciate that. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes me feel good actually.
Yeah, but like honestly, that's very bottom of the barrel type shit. Like, if I had something, I don't know.
The issue is now you're gonna take this nice thing, and by continually shitting on it, you're gonna make me feel worse about this nice thing you just said.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, dude, this is an hour conversation. This is like I should probably get like therapy or something. That's probably would be better for me than talking into the ether on a podcast with two random Jewish dudes I know and putting
You
it
should
up.
Find that out, especially during World War III.
I don't think it matters, but
Yeah, I don't think it's really relevant.
but yeah,
I hear what you're saying. And I'm gonna throw out that there are infinitely worse things you could be doing
well,
instead of
abs-
therapy
a-
or podcasting.
absolutely, I
to
could be
repl-
doing
to-
I could be doing crack, but I mean, regardless, it doesn't negate from the fact that this is pretty like low tier on the totem pole. This is pretty low tier like shit here, and for this to be the highlight of my week every week is pretty fucking sad. So with that said,
Well, what else would be the highlight of your week? Like, to be honest with you, like this is something that's fun that you get to do for an hour a week.
Yeah, I will
Like,
tell
what
you,
would
I go,
work
I
be the
go,
highlight?
I go to therapy every week, and it is not the highlight of my week.
maybe you're not treating it right. Maybe you need to sit down and you make it like a podcast format. Maybe that'd be
No,
pretty
maybe
cool.
next week I'll bring a bottle of champagne with me.
Like, honestly, homie, if this is fun for you, like, I'm glad it's the highlight of your week.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's awesome. But
You guys are-
Brett, we are the bottom of the barrel.
We are, yeah, sure.
I mean, yes. I'm gonna say no. But
I want you guys to know when I was talking about delirium and all that, I literally went to the emergency room because I woke up not even in the middle of the night. I woke up at like 7 p.m. and I was asking Corianne, my fiance, I was asking her like, how long are Komodo dragons? And she goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Komodo dragons, how long are they?"
Yo, I mean, that's kind of fucked up on her end, though. Because,
What?
well, did she tell you how long they were?
She didn't even look it up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, no,
No
but then she
wonder you
goes,
were
"You're not making-"
delirious.
She goes, "You're not making any sense." I said, "No, how long are Komodo dragons?" She goes, "You're making me really nervous." What do you mean Komodo? You mean kimono? We were watching a TV show about Japan, and she goes, "Do you mean kimonos?" I said, "Babe, how can I make myself clearer? Not kimono, Komodo, Komodo dragons."
All I'm saying
Wow.
is if I woke up in the middle of the night, bolt upright, and asked Alice how long Komodo dragons were, and she took me to the emergency room instead of answering how long Komodo dragons are, I might not be
meanwhile,
thrilled.
Just
Pretty
know that this
upset.
was the second time it had happened in a day.
What
Okay,
was the
yeah.
first time? What happened the first time?
The first time I woke up and I was like, "I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm okay," and I started like brushing her face.
Right.
And then the third time it happened was with you guys. Was when I was like, "Am I fucked up? Am I a terrible person for doing what I did?" And then after
Also-
that, I've been totally fine now for the rest of the week. The steroids kind of wore off and everything's
Boy,
totally fine with my brain now. But it was like 2 or 3 days of me waking up and being in that total state of delirium.
That's really
I'm-
scary.
I'm gonna go back to the Komodo dragon thing in a second because it pertains to like something that I want to bring up. But I also oh no, fuck, god damn it, there goes my brain. Fuck, man.
He's gonna be like, "How long Komodo dragons?"
How long are Komodo dragons? Fuck it, I guess I'll go to the Komodo dragon thing. I hope I'm not spoiling this for you guys because it's a pretty good show. It's a show called Three Body Problem on Netflix.
I've wanted to read the book for a while. Yeah.
So
Never heard of it.
Don't be that fucking guy, John. Just
Nah,
you can
that's me, man.
don't
That's
be that
me.
fucking guy. Oh, the book's better than the. Shut the fuck. No, it's not. Sometimes
I'm not saying
it's
it's better. I'm just saying I have wanted to read the book.
yeah, but you can be a normal person.
I actually
and just be like,
I wasn't aware that they made a series of it until you just said that.
all right, fine. You get a pass then. I'm sorry for shitting on you.
That's all right.
So so there I find it funny whenever I see like certain TV shows. Like when I was a kid, you walk out of like a Bruce Lee film and be like, "Yo, I could fuck up 40 people right now." So I take that same thing to like whenever I see like really smart television shows. I'd say that this show incorporates a lot of like, intelligent aspects. It's like you're following like around theoretical physicists and they're trying to again, I hope that I'm not spoiling it for you guys, but I don't
That's
know,
fine.
whatever.
Is it episodic or is it like a serial?
It's episodic. It's like 8 episodes, 45 minutes an episode.
No, but it's for sure serialized, right?
It's serialized, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a serial.
I don't I don't know if they're gonna make a second season. I haven't gotten to the end of the show yet. I'm on like episode 5, I think. I think there's 8 episodes. So I don't know if there's gonna be a second season. I have no idea.
Who's in it?
A lot of British actors.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, do you know the dude from Game of Thrones? Fuck, I don't know his name. He's like kind of a chubby dude from Game of Thrones. He like got with the Logland girl.
Sam.
Sam,
No,
that's
no, no.
right.
Oh,
I don't know the
I-
actor's name, but I know the
I
character.
think so. Yeah, Sam.
Sam. Yeah.
Oh. And the dude who starts the cult. You know that dude,
In
the
what?
Hawk, Game of Thrones, the Hawk.
oh,
cult,
the Sparrow. Jonathan Price is in it.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
Jonathan
Dude,
Price.
Jonathan Price is unreal.
So I don't have, like-
I met Jonathan Price.
So, anyways, with that, what I'm going to say about the show just real quickly is that like it deals with a lot of like theoretical physics, and essentially the title of the show, Three Body Problem, pertains to look, there's some aliens and they're trying to come to the I almost said the U.S. There's some aliens that are trying to come to the damn, I can't think of the word, Earth. God damn it, I keep thinking U.S. So they're trying to figure out how to stop this from happening, and some people want it to happen. It's a whole thing, and they keep talking about like certain types of theories, and blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, after every episode, I'm like, I could be a fucking theoretical physicist, yo. Like, this shit ain't even that hard.
I felt this way after I watched. I felt this way after I watched Chernobyl, where I was like,
yeah,
"Damn, I could have done nuclear physics so easily. I could have prevented this."
Just don't be an
Yeah.
asshole.
It's like, what were they thinking? Of course, you can't use graphite rods like that. That's so
Fucking
stupid.
idiots. Fucking idiots. I can't believe they didn't think about that. Yeah, I think that's always funny to me. Like, but you also never walk out of like okay, this is gonna sound I'm gonna have to probably cut this out. But you probably never walk out of the Neverland show with like Michael Jackson in the documentary. Sorry, I almost said I said show.
Leaving
You know-
Everland.
Yeah, you never walk out of it and be like,
Stop. I know what you're about to say. Don't.
I could've-
don't- There's just no
I
need.
could've-
There's
I
just
could've
no need.
been Michael Jackson.
Know.
I'm
I don't
dead.
even think you need to finish the sentence.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really don't.
Anyways, yeah, but I don't know. You guys got anything for me? I think I'm out of topics. I apologize.
Well, I'm just thinking about how like I was pretty. I think part of the reason I even started in medicine before switching to theater was because of the show House, and just
'Cause, man,
watching
To be
Hugh
honest,
Laurie do his
John, to be
thing.
honest with you, I never knew you started in medicine.
Yeah, I went pretty far with it.
Really?
Yeah. And then
I'm about to get into I'm trying to get into medicine now.
Are you really?
I feel like you're switching careers every like fucking.
I'm
week, though.
switching because different problems are arising. So I'm switching.
Go do your post back if you're genuinely serious about it.
I'm not gonna get into like anything like that, but I'm getting into like I'm trying to. I had a meeting today with somebody trying to get into medical sales.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Oh.
gonna be like, yeah, I'm not really trying to be like a doctor. Maybe one of those alternative medicine things like
Yeah,
osteopathy.
right. I
or
prescribe
homeopath.
mushrooms.
Be a shaman. Become a shaman.
But it's interesting because I think that experience that we have where we watch things and are like, oh, we could go do this. I'm sure everybody has that, but I also think a lot of people just have that with acting. Like they watch anything and they're like, I could go
Nah, shit
act.
was easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, because like you know what's funny? I always bring this up when it comes to like art or artistry. Nobody really does that with like somebody who's playing the piano, like a pianist, or like somebody who like plays the guitar really well. It's like I can fucking do that. It's like you never really think that. Like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, that would take so much practice. I'm not.
I
even
would
gonna
also
fucking
add,
do that.
I think I probably thought that way before becoming an actor. The more I've acted, the more I've worked on it. There,
like, you're like,
the more
fuck.
often I have a moment where I watch it, I'm like, I could not do that. Holy, like, how
Yeah,
did they
yeah.
do that? You know?
I think it takes like knowledge of the thing to understand that you don't know shit about the thing. Like, if
Yeah,
you're-
especially
you're
when it's
ignorant-
something where if you're doing it well, it is invisible. You know?
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah.
pretentious, but I think that is kind of the point. And
You want to act invisibly.
mhm.
You don't
do,
want to show your technique.
I do have a few things to talk about. One of them is very political.
Let's do it.
One of them is theatrical,
It's a political
and
podcast.
one of them is about how much Tesla sucks. So what do we want to? I don't want to take away from anybody else's.
Nah, I got shit.
topics,
Also,
though.
I mean,
the-
my only fun news isn't really a podcast topic. I just got my next certification in stage combat, so I
Oh,
can
sick.
Go be,
For
I
what?
can go be a fight choreographer now. Which is
Oh,
pretty cool.
really?
Yeah.
Congrats. Does that transfer to the U.S. too?
Yeah, I mean, I might need like a separate certification, but I think they would expedite it, kind of thing.
so what you're saying is you could fake beat people up, but if it came to the real thing, you're probably getting your ass beat. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, cool.
But surely when you watch a Bruce Lee movie, like you said, you leave and you can do it, right?
Fair enough. But Bruce Lee is actually beating people's asses in the. I don't know if you guys knew that. Like in Bruce Lee films,
No,
like they would like switch out the stunt performers. 'cause
Yeah,
he
they
would,
had
like,
cycling
physically beat
stuntmen
their
and
ass.
extras.
Have you ever seen Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch?
I haven't seen it. I've heard about it.
Oh my God. So it starts off looking so brutal till you actually think about the physics of it, and you're like, oh, that's fake as fuck. But like he basically like puts his fist all the way out to like 1 inch away from his opponent's chest, and then
Yeah.
he just kind of like punches like that, and this his opponent goes flying to the back. And when you watch it, it looks so damn brutal. But then when you actually think about it, it's like that dude just jumped back. Like there's
Yeah,
no
I mean,
way.
obviously nobody's going flying. You can actually hurt somebody quite a bit doing
Yeah.
that.
But I mean, they
Uh,
literally go tumbling and tumbling.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, not that though. But that's like all his movies. I mean, I don't know. I've only seen a couple Bruce Lee movies. They're very good. They're very fun. But you know, they stylize that stuff so much.
yeah. The 1 inch
But
punch
I could
actually
do with
is,
a
I
little
don't think the
bit.
1 inch punch has been in any movies. I think it was actually just a demonstration he did for
I think
audiences.
I think Jet Li does it in Hero. I think
Okay.
there's I definitely saw some version of it that was like a tribute to Bruce Lee, and it pops up in some
Oh,
Hong
cool.
Kong martial arts movie.
Speaking of fake martial arts, I love. We've talked about Steven Seagal, and I think we'll continue talking about him on this podcast. But one of my favorite things is watching Steven Seagal do like demonstrations for like judo, and it's clear that the people are overacting. Like it's so fucking terrible.
But you should also, here's the thing, Steven Seagal, you can say what you want. He's an awful person. Say what you want about him, but he was legitimately good at martial arts.
Not anymore.
Well,
Not
no, he's
anymore.
70.
I'm
He's
sorry,
70 and
bro.
fat.
You should see the demonstrations are kind of fucking wild. I wish I could pull it up right now.
But that's like saying what's his name? Everyone makes jokes about him. Oh shit. Walker Texas Ranger. What's his name?
fucking Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. It's like saying Chuck Norris he was legitimately a martial arts champ, karate champ.
I don't think
So,
people
like,
are making fun of Chuck Norris as there are.
No.
Yeah,
Nobody's
they make
making
fun
fun
of
of
him
Chuck
all
Norris.
the time.
No, they
Also-
like it's in a positive way though.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Chuck Norris did a push up and he pushed up. I don't remember any
Or
of
he
the jokes.
pushed the earth. Yeah.
Yeah. He did a push up and he pushed up.
My favorite
Fucking
Chuck
bullshit.
Norris. My favorite
So
Chuck
dumb.
Norris joke is Chuck Norris.
Fucking bullshit.
So my
Sorry, go ahead.
favorite is Chuck Norris counted to infinity twice.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Don't make me bring up the old Chuck Norris jokes, bro. I mean, I have to Google them, but still,
I like the new Chuck Norris jokes, which are what you just did, Comey.
yeah.
Push
Chuck Norris kicked a guy, and it broke his leg.
It wasn't that hard of a kick, but still, I mean, it did a little bit of damage. So
There
When
was a
Chuck
bruise the next day.
When Chuck Norris bites you, it breaks skin.
but he has to make sure he has his dentures in because that man's old as fuck.
Like 70 now.
He's older than 70.
Is
I think
he?
last time I checked, dude was like 75, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, let me check. Chuck
He's almost as old as OJ was.
Norris. Don't you put that
Oh,
Wasn't
shit.
Chuck Norris also
84.
He's 84 years old.
84? He doesn't look
wasn't
terrible
he
for 84.
a prodigy of or protege of Bruce Lee?
I don't think so. They fought in the film though. I can't remember what movie it was.
But I think he was like he was kind of Bruce Lee's trainee. I'm pretty sure.
Dog, age comes for everybody. I'm looking at him like box on his Instagram.
Oh, The Way of the Dragon. They were in
Looks
that.
like-
That's not the
that's
first
right, that's-
Dragon.
that's
That's not
right.
the first Dragon movie, though,
It's
is
the
it?
second one. There's Enter the Dragon and Way of the Dragon.
Okay, yeah. So Chuck Norris wasn't in Enter the Dragon, though.
No,
What a fucking
Enter
what
the
a- what a-
Dragon is my personal favorite.
I've never seen it.
Highly recommend.
The only Hong Kong movies I've really watched are the Chow Yun Fat movies and the
What'd you call me?
I'm not sure and Jackie Chan.
Stupid.
Mm. Have you seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? I don't know if that counts as a Hong Kong.
I
movie,
own
but
it. It's not I wouldn't call it a Hong Kong. It's what's his
Yeah.
name? It's another
It's,
Lee. It's Ang Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never seen it. I own it, but I've never watched it.
Got you.
Sounds like a movie
Also,
review to
also
me.
really good.
Sounds like a movie review podcast to me. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold myself back.
So should we talk? So for my topic, do you want us to do the theatrical thing, the Tesla thing, or do you want to do the political thing?
You choose.
Let's hear
but
the
also,
theatrical. Let's hear the theatrical thing to start.
what a strong name Chuck Norris is. Like that's a very strong masculine name. Chuck
It's so white
Norris.
though.
Like that's like being named like John
Like-
Steele.
Or Comey Biblu.
Remember when John wanted to change his last name and we told him no? Remember that?
I mean, I did change my last name.
yeah, but like,
Yeah, but
you
not to
had
Wolf.
other options, and yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
No, there were some really bad options in there.
We're glad you changed it to what you did, but also I think that
Yeah.
John Wilson works really well. But
It was
No,
taken.
I like
It was
Jonathan
taken.
Aarons. I like
This
Jonathan
wasn't out of desire so much as that John Wilson and Jonathan Wilson were both taken in
also, I think
Yeah.
J. Aaron Wilson would have been perfect as well. But
John Aaron Wilson.
no, just J. Aaron Wilson.
J. Aaron Wilson.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I just think, knowing your history, knowing that your family used to be called Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that,
It was-
if
it was
people looked
Wool-
you up on Wikipedia and saw your birth name was Jonathan Wilson, but your stage name was John Wolf, it would have been like, fuck that.
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
guy.
The detail is good, but the outcome not so good. Yeah.
Also, it wasn't John Wolf; it was John Wolfenstein.
Not quite, but
That was Wolf with an E.
I tried.
it was. I don't know exactly how it was
Thanks.
spelled. It was whatever wolf is in Polish.
Definitely not Wolfenstein with the Jew.
Thanks for yes
Definitely not
ending.
Wolfenstein.
Thanks for yes ending me this entire episode, guys. I appreciate that.
You got to
So-
bring better stuff if you.
It doesn't
Yes,
matter. You just got a yes and. It doesn't matter. What the fuck, man?
So theatrically, I went.
gonna have a-
hopefully,
we're
my
gonna have a talk.
hopefully my grandfather doesn't hear this podcast, because last night I went to go watch my grandfather's show, and he's 80 years old, and he's really having a hard time walking, and
What
When
would
he
your
stand-
grandfather be doing watching this listening to this podcast? Who
because he loves me and he loves
Aw.
Corianne.
don't talk shit about him. What the fuck?
That's really sweet.
Yeah, he
Don't talk
loves
shit about
me.
him.
Does he know about it?
I'm not sure if he does, but he probably looks me up on Google and he might find it.
Brett's like, my grandfather loves me, but this dude's a fucking idiot. My
No,
God.
he's not an idiot. He's one of the smartest people I know. He's one of the best
Yeah.
actors I know. And he was in a show last night for the first time in over a decade because he's been having a lot of health problems. And the show was actually at a senior community. So he lives in like a 55 plus neighborhood. And it was just one of the things at the clubhouse that the seniors can do just for fun. They got a
What play-
contract
What
to
play
do
was it? Steel Magnolias.
no, I wish. It was called The Butler Did It. It's just like a murder mystery farce.
Who done it? Yeah, it's a who done it.
Yeah, and it was, first of all, it was a really bad script off the bat. It was like
Oh.
written in the 70s or 80s, and it's just a very basic comedy who done it. One of the characters gets his foot stuck in a trash can. It's like just very basic, let's make some old white people laugh. And Papaw was, I call him Papaw. He was great. I haven't seen him act. The last time I saw him act, he was playing a professional production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got to stop for a second.
Sure.
It's motherfucker. He just gave that point and just continued running with it. You
Which
call
one?
this? You call this motherfucker? Sorry, you call this dude?
Hang on.
Papaw?
You're going to understand in a second because you guys don't know. You guys think I'm just a rich white guy. Maybe I am on my mom's side, but on my dad's side, Papaw was born in the hills of Kentucky. His mother was 13 years old when she had him.
Oh, damn.
He
I wouldn't-
didn't
I
have he
wouldn't-
didn't have plumbing until he was 12. Like yeah, I've got a hillbilly side of my family too.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that you calling your grandfather Papaw had anything pertains anything to do with wealth at all.
Yeah,
He-
yeah.
he
Actually, that
calls-
wasn't really
he
my
calls
thought
his
either.
dad- he calls his grandfather Grandpappy Jim. So like that whole side of
Yeah.
my family is just hillbilly.
It's just Mark Twain characters.
So and Papaw's got listen, I'm gonna play you right now. I'm gonna play you right now. I'm playing
Oh
you
my
right now. This
God.
is what Papaw sounds like. I'm not joking. This is my dad's side of the family. My mom's side is Jewish Philadelphia rich.
What's
and this is my
Meemaw?
dad. This is my dad's
Is
side.
there Meemaw?
Hang on, put on speaker now.
I knew it wasn't gonna work the first time. I fucking knew it. God damn it.
It's Colonel Brown called from down the cornfield. Just called to see how that play went. Hope it went well for y'all. Bye now.
Damn, this man's old as shit.
He is
Like,
from
I think that's kind of cool. to be honest.
Radio
Yeah.
announcer from the fucking early 70s or some shit.
And you know how his family felt? He was the first person in his entire family go to college in the 60s. He went to college, he studied theater. His family was ready to kill him because his whole family worked in a paper mill.
Yeah. I'm just imagining being the first person in my family going to college and then choosing theater, which I really like. I respect it. And also, I just can't imagine how difficult of a decision that would be.
Yeah. So he's been acting his entire life, doing professional theater. He never really made a ton of money at it because he had my dad when he was 21 years old, and he had to switch to sales to support the family. Then he got divorced when my dad was 10 years old. Anyway, it's a whole family story, but I haven't seen him act since he played Big Daddy in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof professionally in Orlando 13, 14, 15 years ago. And I finally got to go back to Orlando last night to see him act in his retirement home community. And he was great. I mean, he can't hardly stand. It's hard for him to walk. He has his energy really dips, and when he stands up, he really needs help. But he just turned 80. When I tell you he was great, but it was the hardest thing I've ever had to sit through in my entire life. This play, we looked it up afterwards, is supposed to be, it's owned by Samuel French, the publication company. It's supposed to be 75 minutes long. It was 2.5 hours of seniors trying to remember their lines.
I don't think that acting or like theatrical acting is the best activity for seniors to do.
So that's
I
where I'm
do.
going to give him credit. I'll give him
I
credit
do.
because it wasn't like they were trying to put on a brilliant play to present to the public. It was really just for the community.
Yeah, it's just a nice activity to.
It was just a nice thing for them to like they had a good time doing it. They had fun. But even Papa was like, I mean, don't expect much. It's just kind of.
Then
So
why-
I went to
then-
go.
Then why are
Go
you
on.
critiquing it as if it should be a professional?
Yeah,
Because listen, I'm gonna, and I feel like an asshole. I feel like an asshole, but as an audience member with 150
Motherfucker, man.
people there, and I'm not just trying to be like a jaded, I've been in, I've had a Broadway contract and I went to the Old Globe and all this stuff. I'm not just trying to be an ass.
You
but
said that to a couple people?
No, not to anybody.
He's
Just-
sitting next to a couple. He's like, honestly,
Yeah,
this
just
isn't
like,
that
this
good.
sucks.
This is nothing like the Midsummer Night's Dream I did at the Old Globe.
Yeah, this is nothing like the play that goes wrong,
Brett's like,
even though
yeah,
everything's going wrong.
I had a Broadway contract. This isn't up to par, honestly.
But
and I
but
would
dude,
know.
It was literally 2.5 hours of, and coming from a background of watching theater where people at least tried. It was 2.5 hours of people being like, "Oh, and you, what's the word? You," and they had teleprompters on the stage so they can look over and look at their lines, but then none of them wore their glasses, so they had to squint to read teleprompters. And they were trying so hard to remember all their lines. And the main character was 90. The actress was 90 years old, and she was forgetting easy words. It's not like she was forgetting her lines. She's on stage for 2.5 hours and she forgot the word storm. And she just goes, "Oh, if only this damn, what's it called? This damn cloud would leave us."
I think you're expecting too much of 90-year-olds.
I wasn't
Yeah, I mean,
expecting
I
too much.
feel
I was
like
just expecting a little
She's
bit
doing
more.
pretty well if she's performing at 90.
Dude, there are people in the audience yelling at her the lines who didn't even know the lines.
That's funny.
And I was
Alright.
trying so hard to have a good time, but as as somebody with a theatrical background, I was like in my seat cringing. And then Papa would open his mouth, and because you heard Papa's voice, he has this very intriguing, deep voice. The whole audience would listen, and he knew all his lines. He did a great job. He was really funny. Everybody loved him. And there was one or two other people in the cast everybody loved, but like just this senior home doing this 2.5 hour play that should have been more than half as long, just because they're trying so hard to remember their lines.
I'm really enjoying Brett. The image of Brett going home and typing away an editorial for his theater blog.
Yeah, I should have.
about
I should have written a review.
yeah, exactly. Do you want to share the Tesla stuff?
Yeah, I'm pissed off about that. And I've been talking a lot this pod, but so Comey's gonna hate this. So you guys know I got T-boned, right? Several weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a dent in my car door. So
Why does shit always happen to you, Brett?
because fuck me. So I took
To
this
be honest,
car.
it's both of you.
Yeah, honestly.
Wait, what do
I
you
swear,
mean?
every week I get a different message from one of you explaining this like crazy thing that happened, usually with your car.
Nah, I've been
Yeah,
pretty
why
good
is it
for-
always the car?
It's
I've been pretty
always the
good.
car.
So basically, what happened was I took my car. I have Tesla insurance, and I took it to a Tesla shop, and to the Tesla Collision Center, and it's been in there for over 3 weeks now. There's a dent in the door. The lady who hit me was going no more than 20 miles an hour. There's just a dent in the passenger side door. They don't even need to replace 2 doors. Just the 1 door is all they need to replace. And Tesla Insurance called me this week and said the car's totaled and I can't get it back. And I looked it up on Reddit. Everybody on Reddit is saying that it's an absolute Tesla's a total racket. Their cars are fragile as glass. They depreciate in value faster than any other car. It was a $60,000 car that's now down to about $26,000. I've had it for 2 years.
Can I just say, look, the majority of the stuff that I look up now to see if things are legitimate is Reddit.
Yeah, same.
You notice that?
Same. But
Yeah.
but that's such an issue. Because it's so easy for AI to mimic the Reddit
I
tone.
see. Yeah.
Right.
And I really think increasingly, I think it already happens, but I think increasingly companies are going to start just having AIs post to Reddit in the comments.
If they're smart. Because
yeah.
like honestly, Reddit is a great place to figure out like truthful. It feels almost like truthful information. Genuinely.
No, I just use it as
More than
Google a lot of the
Twitter,
time.
more-
And
yeah.
not for like news. I think that's a pretty bad use
no,
of
no,
it.
for like I'm
but
buying an item or something.
yeah,
like that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's the thing. Like, if you're using it for buying an item, then that's so easy to exploit for
Right.
like kind of hidden advertising or.
But this
or-
isn't buying stuff. This is just people's opinions on Tesla repairs.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm hearing is it's so easy. Now I drove this car no problem for 2 or 3 weeks after the accident. It's just cosmetic damage. And Tesla's basically saying we'd rather pay you out for the market value of your car, which after the damage is going to end up being even less than it's worth used online. And they're saying we'd rather pay you out for the market value of your car than repair the door. And it's an absolute racket because I can literally go back to the shop and be like, never mind, I don't want to do the repairs anymore. I'd rather just drive my car with a dent in it. And if I do that, because Tesla already said it's totaled, I can't get it insured.
Do they give
And-
you an estimate as to how much it's going to cost to?
It's going to cost, because Tesla parts are so expensive, it's going to end up costing around, it's like a $30,000 repair.
That's why.
Now,
Okay.
that's
let
I
me-
why.
know that's why, but what I'm saying is the
Let me just
yeah.
explain. Let me sorry, because I've gone
Sure.
through this process already. Because you guys know that my brother's Tesla got fucked
Is
up.
that total too?
No, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it wasn't total.
Yeah.
The reason why it wasn't total, and you saw the damage. That was fucked up. I mean, the front was
Right.
completely broken.
Right.
It ended up costing about like $23,000.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Tesla batteries range anywhere from $5,000 to like I want to say $25,000. Put a cap there, depending on what type of range it has, how long the battery's been used for, whatever, different factors. But for the most part, if the battery is not damaged on to most Teslas, they'll just replace. They don't give a fuck. Like they want to keep the battery, so they'll just replace the parts if they need to. Now again, 5 to 25. I'll say 5 to 20 to be honest, just to be safe. So if the damage repair is $30,000, they're thinking, well, fuck it. I mean, we can pay him less than how much his car is worth. We'll pay him $23,000 for his car or whatever amount. We'll keep the Tesla battery and probably put it into a different Tesla or like have it replaced with a different Tesla and sell that as used. I don't know, but that's probably what they're thinking. And that's the
They
reason why
can't,
they're trying to
so
fuck
they're
you over.
actually going to send it to a salvage yard and just get rid of and just
I see.
So
I really think if there's any way you can just get the car from them, drive it uninsured for a day. Like, I mean, I maybe cut that out of the podcast. I don't know, but I don't know.
it's never, the problem is it's never
But
going to
just
get
take it to like a third party, non Tesla, repair. And
So
I don't
yeah.
mean like a traditional mechanic. I mean,
No, I know
think
what
there
you
are-
mean. I know what you
Yeah.
mean, and it's impossible to do that. Reason being is because before I authorized anything, the Tesla Collision Center drilled holes into the car, making it totally undrivable.
Which is what I would
So
take a
get it
Molotov
towed.
cocktail to the fucking.
Yeah, I
So get
want to
it-
get it towed. I do. So here's the thing. The problem is this. I took it to a Tesla Collision Center. It's already insured by Tesla. Tesla already heard from a Tesla authorized person it's totaled.
But it
So
doesn't
I
matter.
can-
It's still your car. Like,
It's still my car, but it's going to be impossible to get it insured by anybody,
even if
and-
it's repaired.
even if it's repaired, because what they're going to hear is, oh, a Tesla Collision Center told a Tesla insurance adjuster it was totaled. And here's the other thing that sucks about it. And it's got, and if it's totaled, it's totaled. If Tesla's like, hey, we're just going to send you a paycheck, we're going to send you not paycheck, we're going to send you a check, we're going to say, then that would be one thing. The fact of the matter is, they sent Tesla, the mechanic sent Tesla the estimate 2 weeks before I ever heard anything from Tesla. They
the whole
didn't
thing-
didn't get in touch with the mechanic. They didn't get in touch with me. There was nothing.
I think
Then
you got to
after-
sue Elon, man.
Dude, then after I reached out to Tesla and said, hey, I just heard from the mechanic it's totaled, then the adjuster sent me back an email saying, we're so sorry for the delay. We've been trying to reach out to a total loss adjuster. And I'm like, you haven't been in touch with me about anything. I try to call them. I can't get a hold of them. I call my adjuster. It sends me to his voicemail. I left him 3 voicemails. Can't get anything back from them. I call Tesla Insurance. Every single option that you click for Tesla Insurance says you can get this information on the app.
You try clicking 0.
Was that?
You try
Dude,
clicking
0 doesn't do anything. It says you need to click one of the options.
Well, it sounds like you're fucked. That's what it sounds like. Which is
So
very
I'm pretty
unfortunate.
much am fucked. And the problem is, so many people have had this issue. So many, like Tesla has so many problems. They make great cars. I love my car, but the service, the customer service and repairing the cars is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean,
that
they
it's
basically totaled your car.
They totaled
Like
my car.
there was a dent, and then they put holes in it. They
put holes in it.
totaled your car.
Exactly.
I would not be surprised if there's a class action against them.
There
in
should
some
be,
way
because
related
dude,
to
their
this.
stock, they went from being one of the number one stocks to being my mom, for instance, my mom invested in them and has lost $25,000, and it's still going down. It hasn't been on the upswing in years because so many, and the cars, their cars depreciate faster than any other car depreciates. It's got nothing to do with the quality of the car. The car is great. They make great cars.
Then why
it's
does it depreciate like that?
The service.
That's unbelievable.
It's dealing with Tesla after you buy the car. It's being told that your car is totaled for having a dent in your door and then not being able to get a hold of an adjuster. It's being told that you can't get in oh, I'm having this issue with my car. What can I do about it? And then not being able to speak to anybody over the phone. It's literally just, you try to call Tesla before you buy a car, you can speak to somebody within a minute. They're like, here's how great our cars are. We're going to sell you a car. And they really make you comfortable with buying a Tesla. And then once you have a Tesla and you love your car, you can't get in touch with anybody at Tesla to help you solve any problems. And that's why there was an actor, I can't remember, it's a famous actor. It may have been Jesse Tyler Ferguson or somebody like that.
John
Who
Aaron
had a
Wilson,
te-
maybe?
Who?
John Aaron Wilson?
Yeah, John Aaron Wilson.
Maybe J. Aaron Wilson. Hold on.
A famous actor was in a garage and left his key for the car within his car. And the only other way he could have got into the car was through the Wi-Fi, the Tesla app on his phone, which is how I always got into my car. But because he's in a garage, he didn't have Wi-Fi, so he couldn't access his car at all. And he couldn't get in touch with Tesla to help him out. He didn't need a locksmith. He literally just needed somebody to help him unlock his car because there's no locks on the car. He literally just needed somebody to be like, okay, here's what you do to help get access to your car remotely, even though there's no Wi-Fi in the garage. And it took him a week to get his car out of the garage.
That sounds like a simple fix, though. All you gotta do is just like have somebody else download the Tesla app and just like
No,
you know,
it wasn't that. It was
They
in
give
a
you
garage.
they give you a key card.
Yeah,
no.
that's what he left in his car.
What I'm saying is, yes, he's in the garage, but all you have to do is just call somebody else, like a family member, have them download the Tesla app, give them their information about your Tesla, and they can unlock it from anywhere in the world as long as they have Wi-Fi.
There was more
Easy
to it than
peasy.
there was more to it than that.
Easy peasy. You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, it's just the service with Tesla has just been atrocious ever since I've had the car. Even the second I got the car and I had all those problems with it. And now what I'm hearing is what I'm probably the check that I'm going to receive, the offer I'm going to get from Tesla for how much my car is worth is going to actually be less than I still owe on the car after the damage.
It's tough, my boy. That sounds like you need a Porsche. Get a Porsche like G.
I'm probably going to end up just buying a used crappy car.
No, get the electric Mustang.
Yeah, that's what I'll
what the
do.
fuck? No, get like a nice Porsche Cayenne or like a Porsche fucking.
And then you guys
911 or
you guys
something.
know this, like it's going to be really expensive insurance for me regardless of whatever I get, because this accident was technically my fault, but even though the police officer was like, you need to write to the city and get this fixed because it's on you and the city
City ain't doing shit.
for the signage being issues, but the city's not going to do anything for me. And now I have this accident, which is at fault, plus 2 hit and runs. 2 people hit my car.
Right.
One person took my door off.
I thought you were saying you have 2 hit and runs. out on you.
No. My car was parked twice in San Diego, and I had 2 people sideswipe my car and run off.
My man's a whole liability, bro. No matter what car
And
you
so
get into.
so I've got the two not at faults, and I've got this at fault on my record, and it's going to end up being an incredible price to pay to get any car insured, even Corian's uncle's car, which is an $1,100 beater car.
Hmm. I'm just gonna say it now. If we ever go on a little trip together, I'm gonna be the one to drive. Because
Please do, because I don't want to take the
Wait, what do you?
insurance.
Oh, you mean you and Brett? Cool. I'm gonna find. a driver.
No, I mean all 3 of us.
Wait,
Because
why?
again,
What do you mean?
again, you 2 always have a car story.
It's just
And I just-
circumstantial. It has nothing to
Yeah,
do
but
with like.
I think there's a little bit of luck here involved. There's something.
I-
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
not even going to be Comey. I'm not even going to be defensive about this. John, please drive. Like
I will be. I will be. My car was hit overnight, like at fucking 12 fucking midnight.
Yeah, then you
What-
had your girlfriend drive your brother's car and
Mhm.
destroy it
I might have to cut. I might have to cut
within
that
30
out.
seconds.
Why would you have to cut that out?
Nah, there's no reason why.
No, I'm not mad about it. Like it wasn't.
What do you mean you're
necessarily-
not mad about it?
Like
The
what
fuck?
I did? Like it was just as much of an accident what she did as what I did. Like
Yeah.
technically, what I did was at fault.
Can I be honest with you? When that happened, like, I was so fucking upset. Like, you don't
So
understand.
Comey's girlfriend borrowed.
Okay, we're not going to
Comey's
get into
brother's
it. Let's
car.
not get into it. Let's not.
Well,
get
then we
into it.
don't even talk about it. Like people
It's
want to hear
fine.
what happened if you're going to be upset about
All
it.
right, go. Fuck it. Oh,
So
God.
tell me if I'm wrong. You were at a gas station,
Yeah, mechanic. Yeah.
a mechanic, and she wanted to drive a Tesla. Your brother had a Tesla. She
Right.
wanted to drive it, and she inched out too far from the
Pretty
mechanic,
much, yeah.
and the whole hood of the car got hit. Now, technically, she's at fault because she inched out too far. However, I saw the video. There was so much room from the person who hit her to get over or brake. Like that person could have seen her in plenty of time.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a fucking thing. Anyways, yeah, continuing on. I'm not gonna.
Anyway, so that was my Tesla story. Like, I'm just upset that I lost my Tesla for getting dented.
If it's any consolation, I mean, like I said, we'll probably have a class action for something at some point because I'm sure something's wrong.
They're going to.
But more so, I
And
just think they're also just going to get out competed. Like they probably already are, but just other car companies are catching up so quickly,
yeah.
and there's just going to be better options.
And Elon Musk is just too busy. And I know he doesn't run Tesla right now.
The man is not busy. He's just
Well,
broken.
Yeah, what I mean is like he's too obsessed with Twitter being having free speech than he
You
is
mean
with
X?
his millions of customers for Tesla having issues with the customer service.
Fuck Tesla. We're not talking about Tesla anymore. It's
Anyway.
Yeah.
that sucks.
If our listeners have bared with us through that, thank you. Because yeah.
Was that just me complaining?
Pretty
Well,
much,
no,
yeah.
I mean nothing wrong with you complaining. I like when you complain, but honestly, I think Tesla itself is just kind of a well-trodden sort of topic, you know.
Yeah. But anyway, that was my personal experience with them with a car that I loved, and I'm just pissed about it.
Speaking of Reddit, are you guys onto this new Reddit porn game?
No.
Nope.
There's a-
This is just you.
Wait, what do you mean, Jesse? Hold on, wait, don't put me out on the island like that. I'm just saying, there's a lot of porn on Reddit. That's all I'm saying.
But do you
And it's-
think is Comey about to explain to us a game he created for himself?
No,
related to Reddit porn?
So whenever I see porn, I beat off. I can't help it. I don't.
That's not a game. That's just what
Yeah,
people do.
It's like there's this game I play where I shut my door and I close my blinds.
And I masturbate when I watch porn. That's something that I personally do.
I invented it. Yes. Imagine someone who doesn't know that other people beat off, and it's like they're like 25 and they just found out about beating off. They're like,
Are you describing yourself?
Yeah, I think he
No.
is.
I'm not 25.
He's
But-
in the back of Comey's mind. He's going, "How do they know about the way I close my blinds and and jerk off?"
Corianne just walked by and just crossed her eyes at what was happening over here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Not that she doesn't do that too, but
Beat off, yeah.
sorry.
All right,
3
tell
on the
tell
dot.
us about the game you invented, Comey.
There is no game. I'm just saying there's a lot of porn on Reddit. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, you introduced this as, do you guys know about the Reddit porn game?
Like,
What is it?
let me put you on game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
yes,
oh.
as one of our professors will say, a black term. Yes. So
I don't think John does John remember that?
I wouldn't have been in your class for that.
No,
we can talk about that after.
she
Let's
was
talk.
She was
we can
specifically
chat about
describing
that.
a member of your
Oh,
class.
God.
We can chat after, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't have to name names.
Yeah.
A black term.
Nonetheless, yeah, tell us about the Reddit porn game. Am I saying that right?
Good job, John.
Thank you.
I like how did Brett hit me up like a week and a half ago, and he was like, the term black skinned. He's like, is that
I first of all I posed that to the group
Did
and no
he,
one
did
answered.
he
me.
add the dinded at the end?
yeah, he did.
No, I was genuinely curious. I was.
He was
genuinely
genuinely he was
curious.
just asking a question. So
I was
but
like,
it's funny-
is that a real term or is that something that's dialect?
it's funny. He comes to like his resident black friend. And he's like, hey,
I
can
posted
you
to both of you.
explain-"
Nobody answered me. And then who am I going to call? You were John.
John's
yeah.
pretty. He just said game right now. So John's well. We should bring in like a black vernacular in an episode. And I just like quiz you guys and see if you guys. Can,
Oh, let's start now. Give
That'd be
us one.
fun.
cap. Just kidding.
Is that
Come on.
lying?
At
Oh,
this
dude,
point,
you know what?
At this
I'm just
point,
gonna
I
do it
feel
for
like that's
Brett.
white vernacular.
I'm just gonna do it for
That's
Brett.
middle
1 second.
school.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's kid vernacular.
I'm gonna find.
You
Okay,
guys know
what-
like middle schoolers. Middle schoolers right now are like think the word Ohio is hilarious.
Really?
because of what
Yeah,
reason?
because I have no idea. And so basically, Corianne's
Swag
almost
like
said-
Ohio.
Yeah, well, no, Corianne's nephew just thinks if you're from Ohio, it's the funniest thing in the world. And I told him my family's from Ohio, and he couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And so I looked up on Reddit, again. I looked up on Reddit. I was like, why do middle schoolers think Ohio is funny? And there's a whole thread about Ohio of people being like, I don't understand Gen Z or Gen Alpha thinking Ohio is hilarious. One time this one teacher posted, she wrote, I talked about Ohio once in class. My whole 6th grade class started dying laughing just about the word Ohio. And then she writes, we live in Egypt. And so like people all over the world think Ohio is hilarious. And there's no reason why.
I think it's just because it's like there's nothing in Ohio, and I can attest to this. I've been to Ohio several times.
There's Cedar Point. There's Kings
Yeah.
Island. There's Coney Island. There's
In
Cincinnati.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Coney Island is in Ohio.
Yeah, Coney Island, not the New York theme park, the country's largest pool and
I was
small
gonna say you're
theme
really
park.
bad at geography. I didn't know how bad you were at geography. Eddie. 1 second. This is gonna be this is gonna be a terrible end to the podcast here.
I got
One
one more
second.
thing to ask you guys, but unless you want to talk about World War III, Comey.
I've
I would like
I've been actively skewing the conversation away from World War III.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think we need to talk about it.
Why not? We'll probably get drafted. Okay, let me give Brett one term.
I mean,
Okay, Brett.
Americans aren't going to be involved, I don't think.
maybe. If I said it was mad brick outside, Brett, what would you say? What would
No
you
clue.
Okay.
There's mad brick outside. Wait, use it in one more sentence.
Hey man, yo, it's mad brick. Imagine that's just a sentence.
Is it
Yeah,
like
any sentence you use is just amen and then the sentence.
yeah.
I have an awful guess, but I'm not going to guess it.
Well, let me hear it.
Like pour?
No, it's raining.
No, it's not. It just
cold?
means it's cold. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, John.
What,
All right.
How do you get cold from brick?
You just know,
brick.
Brett. You just know.
yeah, yeah. What if I said Brett, you're gonna know. Well, Brett, Brett
I was
would know
thinking
this.
projects for brick. I was thinking like project house.
What if I said Brett, my ops are outside?
My what? Opponents. My rivals.
My rivals.
That's right. That's
No, yeah.
he said
But
he said opponents. Yeah. No, it's
Opponents.
it's opposition, but yeah, opponents works as well. I mean
Opponents.
my opponents are outside. They're waiting for me. No, I don't got anything else to think of right now, but yeah.
You just bring us one a week. One a week, and next
know
thing you
what?
know, Brett and I
I've-
will be
I'll be
talking
saying it.
like the
Brett,
children.
okay, last
do.
one. And we'll sign off with these every week. I'll think of something. What if I said, Brett, I said these dino nuggets are bussin'. What would you say?
Delicious.
There you go, man. You're gonna be remember those early like 2000 films with I forget that actor, but he was like super wigger and he would just be around black people, but like act really but he was white, but I don't know that
Pauly Shore?
actor.
Do either of you guys watch Inside the NBA?
No.
Nah.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like maybe we could start branding ourselves as like the reverse of Inside the NBA.
I do have Comey, I do have a quick question for you.
Just do it. We're gonna end the podcast on this.
Well, then I have actually one more question for you guys to end the podcast on, but is the word you just said a word that I'm allowed to say? John and I are allowed to say?
I think so.
Bussin'?
No.
Yeah, bussin'. No, wigger. Because
Oh.
I mean, that's like a term that's not really used all that often anymore.
I'm
It's
still
like
not
really
totally comfortable using it.
early like
I just don't
2000s.
think there's ever a need to use it
Yeah. But I
Well-
just want to know, like, if I say, is it the same
for
thing
me
as
or Brett.
the other word?
Well, I mean, if you just change the letter if you want, dude. You know, if you do it, the social ramifications are on you. You know.
So that's a
but-
no. I'm not going to use
Yeah,
it.
but actually, I guess I'm curious, Brett. Like, is your hesitation around it the sound of the word or the fact that it is related to the word in
Both.
its meaning as well?
both.
Because I feel,
both.
because like Tigger the tiger, I'm
Well,
comfortable
okay, that's
saying
different because if you say Tigger, like you're talking about a character from a children's
Yeah, that's
cartoon.
what I'm saying. So like it is one letter.
But it's the word it sounds like the word I don't want to say. At the same time,
and it's also
specifically
related
relates
to, and I feel like that's the issue. And I actually feel like at that point, like there's just no need
Yeah.
to use it.
Did you
Yeah.
guys know that the word niggardly is a word?
Yeah, it
Did you
means
guys know
cheap.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have actually used that in a sentence without thinking
God.
about it.
that? What the fuck, John? John, what the fuck?
This was a long time ago. Also,
Imagine
again, I really
That's like
just
a
want to
1930s word.
I just
Yeah.
want to emphasize, like, there was no thought process, there was no connection even to it. I was just conversing
with somebody and use it as it is meant to be used.
Okay, I'm gonna cut.
But this is the curse of having a fucking fantastic vocabulary.
Okay,
You know,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and well, I think Brett has something as well. But that's like me saying, and I'm gonna have to cut this out, obviously.
No,
What?
so far it's fine.
I have a
Well-
feeling he's about to say kike.
No,
Oh,
I was gonna
okay.
say, you know, I'm not gonna fucking do it.
he was
Go on, no,
definitely
no,
about
no.
to say what I just
No.
said.
No,
Go on.
No. Okay, fine. It's not even that bad. It's like, oh, okay. Me and someone are having a back and forth to do with money, for instance, right?
Oh yeah,
And-
he's gonna say what you're gonna say, John.
No,
Yeah.
no, listen, check this out. And we're haggling, and I was like, oh, I want it for $50. The person's like, I want it for 75. And eventually I get them down to 65, and I'm like, great. And then I'm talking to somebody later, and I'm like, yeah. Anyways. All right.
Surely you understand how a slur can still be used in a
Well-
context like that.
Well, no, I'm equating.
Listen,
not
all I'm
equating them,
asking,
but I'm relating them.
just use something a little more covert at the very least. You know, just say that you really nickeled and dimed somebody.
I don't know
love-
if that
there
was
was
like
a-
covert. Is that covert?
There's a documentary
People in
that Conan
jail.
O'Brien made where it shows it's kind of about his tour he made after he left the Tonight Show. And there are a few kids who want to come to his tour, but they weren't 18, so they weren't allowed in yet. And Conan saw them in the parking lot. He went over to talk to them. And the kids were like, we really wanted to come to your show, but they kind of jewed us out of it. And Conan goes, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to look past your anti-Semitic comment and tell you that I just want you to know I'm half Jew or 1/4 Jewish. And they said, oh, we're sorry. We mean they gypped us out of it. And Conan, and I'm just like, how's that any better?
Better, yeah. Okay. This is a long podcast. I think this is the longest podcast we've ever done.
I think it is. I think it is.
Okay.
I do have one
And
thing.
we've ended it by quoting a
Multiple
Conan
times.
O'Brien bit.
No, I'll make it better. I'll make it better. And that wasn't a bit, by the way. That was something those kids actually said.
Yeah, fair enough. But nonetheless.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So I know John, you're in London. Comey, you're in California.
Are you gonna ask me what it feels like to be the king of Belgium?
Yes. How does it feel?
The king
There's
of
lots of
Belgian
waffles?
waffles.
That's such a tired joke.
Go, Brett. What the fuck?
But my question to you is, Corey Ann and I were getting married. We have our date. It's April 4th, and I'd love it if you guys were groomsmen at the wedding.
Let's fucking go.
I love it. I
I'm
love
there.
it.
What's- We'll talk about the date
absolutely.
later.
What was that?
We'll talk about the date later. That's dope.
We'll talk about the date. The date's April 4th.
Yeah, he
Oh, I
just
thought-
said it's April 4th.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2020.
yeah.
No, yeah, 2025.
We're going back in time.
John, I need you to. You've been on me this whole episode. I don't know what's going on.
Comey,
We're gonna
when
have
am I
to talk about
not?
This.
When am I
This is-
not?
This is ridiculous. I'm not feeling any love from this podcast.
My brother's going to be the best man, but
God
if you guys are
damn it.
groomsmen, I'd appreciate that.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's kind of whack. That's
I'm
kind of whack.
upset.
You could have waited to tell us that and then sown such good tension between me and Comey as to who would be the best man before
And
ultimately
wait.
choosing him. You took the worst option.
Just told you
That-
right away, my brother.
Yeah.
That'll be dope. Is it gonna be in Florida? Well, we'll see where you're at in a year. but
It's
yeah.
going to be in St. Pete. It's going to be in St. Petersburg at the Don Cesar Hotel.
Are you going to invite your whole group 34?
No.
Are you going to invite some?
Yes, I think just Comey, and
And the other one that you're very close with?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all we need to know. I mean, there's nobody else for you to really invite, though. I mean, realistically.
Yeah, I mean the rest of them I haven't talked to at all since
Yeah.
we graduated.
I don't know. I've always kind of imagined myself having like one of those really, really big weddings where I just invite people from like all chapters of my life. So I don't really talk to my cohort that much, but I'm going to invite all of them.
Until you find out how expensive it is at this hotel, Like I wanted to do something like that, but we had to limit it to 100 people.
Nah, but they can pay their own hotel.
Yeah, everybody, you're expecting people to pay.
It's not
for-
just paying their own hotel because we have to pay per head.
oh at
Yeah,
the wedding.
you're
So-
right. You're
so
right.
if we-
I
if
definitely
we had-
underestimate the cost of weddings.
Having 100 people there is like $45,000.
Oh wait, are we allowed a plus one?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think
question.
Angelina's going to be invited, and John, your girlfriend's going to be invited.
Yep. Her name is Alice. I believe
Alice.
I've
Yeah, we
mentioned
don't
her.
really fucking know anything about her. This is okay. We're gonna end the podcast on this. I had to beg John essentially, be like, "Hey, what does your girlfriend look like?" And he finally sent us a picture after dating for how long, John?
I don't think this is actually a little over a year, but I don't think this is reasonable because
How is it not reasonable?
it's not like you showed me Angelina like deep
I
into
feel
our
like-
friendship.
I feel like this is you're doing a Drake right now, where it's like I'm not hiding my girl from the world. I'm hiding the wait. What? How did fuck? I fucked it up already. You understand what I'm saying? Drake was
I'm
like,
absolutely not. I think I just would feel weird like sending just an unprompted photo.
Listen, Here's Alice with
Yeah,
exclamation
what?
marks.
I mean, to be honest with you, Comey, like I talk about Corian all the time because I'm a weirdo. But like to be honest, like Comey, you never talk about Angelina.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
I'm
I bring up. I
half the
bring up.
time I'm like, are Comey and Angelina still together? Like, I assume they
That's
are because I haven't
insane.
heard anything else.
Yeah, only time I bring her up is when she does bad things like crash cars. That's the only time.
Yeah, I guess I need to start operating on the assumption that if I don't hear anything, everything is good, and if I do hear
Yeah.
something,
Yeah, I've been like, I mean, yeah, I've always kind of been like more of like a reserved person when it comes to my relationships, like both like, bro, like for instance, I feel like this is gonna be a 2 hour long podcast, but whatever the fuck ever. When the whole like Ukraine thing was happening, and Angelina was there,
In Ukraine
yeah, it quite literally
during the worst part of it, like as the invasion started.
correct,
see, like
yeah.
I didn't even know this happened,
So
and you're
funny-
complaining that I didn't show you a photo of Alice.
I mean, the least you could do, bare minimum, is be like, "Here's Alice." But
All right, that was creepy.
yeah, no. But so when the invasion was happening and she was there, and like this was like in grad school, and the professors were like, Comey's acting different because I mean, shit was happening. It was like fucking worried that she might get
Hey,
killed.
give me some credit for that. I did it. I helped you with that.
You did.
I've called
so-
the Polish National Guard.
Yeah, they're like, "Who the fuck is this?" He's like, "Brett Cassidy."
No, I said my name
It's
is
Brett
Comey.
Cassidy.
No, I said my name is Comey Biblu. So I called the border patrol. I was like, we need my girlfriend Angelina's there. I was like prosing to be Comey to help him.
Wait, you were trying to get Angelina out?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the Polish border.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I want to hear this whole story, but I really don't think you can be roasting me for not telling you more about Alice when I didn't know this occurred until this moment.
Understand though that what I'm asking for is the bare minimum. You're talking about like
I'm pretty sure the bare minimum Comey would be to tell one of your best friends.
Yeah, that my
your
girlfriend is in
girlfriend-
danger.
we just never had there was never a time for this conversation. I don't think like
not just is in
You
an
did-
active war zone.
I bet you texted me a meme while that was happening. I bet you
what do
did.
you mean? That's insane. Okay, we gotta end this podcast. This is getting ridiculous. I would just say that the professors were like, "Oh, Comey's acting different," and they're like, "Hey, what's happening?" And I kind of explained to them what was going on. They're like, "Yeah, man, you gotta." I'm doing the voice there. He's like, "Yeah, you gotta talk to us more about. You gotta talk to us more about like what's happening in your life and whatever."
No,
So
you
I'm
don't.
I've always been a pretty reserved person when it comes to just like kind of personal shit anyway. So, but this podcast, opening up,
Yeah, there you go.
No Diddy,
I've-
no Diddy.
Yeah, I definitely felt
Um,
like that. But it's an interesting thing with drama school. I ran into that too, where I would have teachers at our program and in London be like, you really just need to be more, open with what's going on in your life. I don't understand how that at all relates to
Translates.
a classroom. But
Yeah, do you guys remember when I was having this was my first year I was having stomach problems, and I always have stomach problems because I had surgery on my stomach 3 times. I always have stomach problems, and one member of our class got sick with COVID. Not COVID, sorry, just like an infection or something like that. And then told the head of our program that they were sick, and they realized that Brett was sick a little bit earlier with stomach problems. And I got a call from the head of our program said I need to be more open about my health. And I said, you don't understand. I always have, like, you know this. I always have stomach problems. And I'm not going to come tell you every single time I have diarrhea. Like,
You should.
But why not?
I would like to know.
and also, I
Yeah,
don't
honestly,
have a cold.
it's the bare minimum, Brett.
Yeah, it's the bare minimum. Like, I have, I was like, I'm sorry, but I remember saying this and he didn't laugh, but I thought it was funny. I was like, well, I hate to break it to you, but I have diarrhea every time. So am I going to just tell you every single time?
Oh, how could he not laugh at that? If I was a teacher and a student said that to me, I'd be dying.
No, he was like, okay. And I was like, so I don't like, why is it my fault that this person got a cold? Because I had a stomach problem that I have all the time after having stomach surgery.
Remember that one time where you guys all got like the fucking flu or some shit? Like the entire cohort got sick, except for your boy.
And me, I didn't get it.
Shout out to Allah. Okay.
I didn't get it.
I think you did.
Comey, did you fast this year?
No, I didn't.
Wait, you're talking about when we all got COVID and you and I are the only ones who
John.
didn't?
I like how you held on to that just for that. That was good. Nice. No, I don't know, Brett. Who cares? Anyways, this is about to be an hour 45-minute long podcast, so we're gonna end it here. Listen, all two of our podcast listeners, I'm gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks, and I said this after the last podcast, but it wasn't recorded, so I want it to be documented so that they feel an obligation to actually do it.
Cut this out.
I'm not cutting it out. So I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I don't think that Brett and John are going to be able to put a podcast together just simply because I'm not here. I'm almost like the glue, if you want to call it that.
Would you
this
still be able,
podcast?
Comey, can you still text us?
Why?
As long as you can text me, I can edit I can edit the thing, but as long as you can text me how to upload it, we can get it done.
Yeah.
This is the problem. This is because they don't have. Yes. Okay. You guys need to do a podcast. That's the thing.
We will.
I don't think so, but I'm fingers crossed you guys put together something. Look, I'm just preparing the audience for not having a podcast for 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the podcast. Make sure to follow us on. I don't even really post on Instagram like that. Whatever. Look, like the podcast, review it on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
And Spotify. My brain's all over the fucking place right now. I don't know. You guys have anything else? What's up? That's the fucking
World War
podcast.
III. World War III.
All right. Bye.